Thank you so much for tuning into the Woman to Woman podcast, a conversation for women like you, smart, successful, curious, and interested in being your best self. Join both Sarah and I as we discuss topics that women our age are actually interested in, with both of us being candid and often having differing views.
As coaches, we sprinkle in advice and tips, along with humor and vulnerability. We hope you feel like a fly on the wall with two friends. Let's entertain and inform you and welcome you into our friendship.
We appreciate you pressing play and spending some time with us, wherever you are in the world.
Let the magic happen. In today's episode, I am sharing my recent experience with a detox program of medical medium Anthony Williams and all the benefits that I could feel in my body and my energy level. Angela is talking about a complete different detox, which is as important as the others, and it's about the dopamine detox, leaving your phone away. And she is also sharing few tips on how to start with ease. So just relax and enjoy the ride. Okay, today I'd like to talk about detox programs that people sometimes take it for diet. Have you ever done a detox already?
I swear to God, I did my first one earlier this year, and I could only do 2 days. So I am not a big detox person. I like the sounds of it. You know, I really live my life much more in balance. I try never to go one way or the other. But while we're going to talk about detox, first we'll talk about those. I guess I did do another one. I'd say for the last 18 months, which has been two actually. One is detoxing from coffee, and the other is detoxing from alcohol. But neither of them did I completely get off. I've had periods, but I just wanted to lower my usage. And I have one other thing I was going to say, if we get time to it, which is I am experimenting with myself and my son with some technology detoxes. It's called like a dopamine detox. So that's something we can talk about as well. So I've had different self-imposed ones, but the diet one is probably the one I've tried the least.
Okay. Okay, so why I'm bringing this topic, because I have to admit, exactly like you, I did my very first detox in January this year, so in January 2021. And I was attending a program where the detox was part of the program. So they would give us all the information before, and then through the program we would drink and eat whenever they are going to ask us to eat. So this detox program is inspired by Anthony Williams, who wrote Medical Mediums. And so he did several books as well, Cleanse to Heal, where it's there that all the recipe from the detox that I have practiced are from. And so medical medium, I mean, we call it medical medium, but his real name is Anthony Williams, he's a medium and connecting with the spirits, and they told him that people needs to use celery juice to remove, toxin from their body and also heavy metals. I have started this last August actually, so it's been more than a year now that I am practicing drinking very regularly celery juice. So for months it was like every day I was drinking this every day, and then after that I was starting to be a little bit sick of it. Not the juice itself, but it happens at the same times where I stopped meditating in the morning, where I couldn't wake up. And so in the morning it was the same, I could not drink this anymore. But at some point it came back because I was still, needed this, because I can feel the immediate results when I drink a celery juice. So the detox itself. So let's talk about the detox itself and how it is set up. It's just like we drink juices. Juices, fruits or veggie. Okay, fruits or veggies. And the thing is, I know people, some detractor would say, come on, you cannot just drink the juice itself because you need the fiber of those. Yes, I totally agree with that. However, for a detox purpose, which lasts only 4 days, you can go up to 9 days if you want, and if you can. But for the purpose of it, it's just that, as what he's saying to cover that aspect, is that we are no longer used to chew our food correctly and properly.
Yeah.
So because of that, what is happening is that because you're not chewing correctly, then the food will take much long time to be absorbed by the acids of your stomach. And so it's going to require more energy for your body to shrink down this food, and then after that continue the circle of the digestion. So his idea is just like, rather than to spending that energy that when you are on detox, first day definitely your body is adjusting, so it's using a lot of energy to understand what is going on. So definitely the first day might be a little bit tiring, and then after that, second day you start feeling better, third day it's very easy, fourth day it's easy. Then after that, up to you to stop there or to continue up to 9 days. When I did that, so it's juices, lemon juice, so lemon juice with water, just that, that's it. He would add sometimes a little bit of honey for those who really don't like the honey and the lemon juice. But then after that, you go for the celeries and you do a greeny stuff. So the fruits juices will be a mix of juices that you wish, and when you go for the veggies, you will go for the green veggies, so spinach, salad, and then you blend it into a soup. And I love the recipe that he has in his how do you say book, because it looks like a green gazpacho. Do you know gazpacho, this tomato kind
Like
of soup,
cold
but it's not, but it's the cold one? Then his recipe, when you follow it, it really like it becomes a green gazpacho, and I loved it, because I like garlic as well, so it's easy. But so what was the benefit of it? It's like, we need to understand that the detox, it's not a diet program. When you go for a detox, you may lose some weight, you may not lose weight, okay? However, if you lose weight when you think it's a weight, it's not weight. You are just losing your trash that you store in your body. The garbage that you put in your body, and your body could not eliminate because either it was too much or it was tired and stuff like that. So it's stored. So if you go for a detox, then you eliminate that dirt from your body. You don't necessarily lose weight as per se. And it has beautiful results on me for the first time I did it. And energy wise, it was just beautiful, because it was definitely, it was increasing my energy. So the things that you said, exactly like you said, when you go for a detox, definitely you want to stop caffeine. So any type of caffeines, which means coffee and tea. For me, it's slightly more easier because a few years back I got the dengue fever, and it was a huge detox because I stayed at the hospital for 7 days, only with a drip attached to me, and I could not eat anything. Even drinking water was extremely tough for me to keep it. So from that moment, I decided. So it was a detox, a forced detox, I would say. But my when you get the dengue fever, your liver suffered a lot, and mine was very swollen. I could feel it. I really could sense my organ. And so when I heard about this detox, the celery juice will primarily clean the liver actually. So this is why it made me feel good, because I had different type of modalities to heal my liver, but I've never tried the detox. And so when I started actually um, drinking the celery juice on a regular basis, I could feel that my liver was much healthier. I could feel it. Trust me, when you have a swollen liver, you can feel that it's not right. When you are normal, you think that everything is normal, then fine, you don't feel any of your organs. But when it's slightly swollen, trust me, you feel it. Maybe you got this sensation when you got drunk, when you drink too much, you have that sensation of discomfort coming somewhere in your body, then it's high chances that it's the liver. But anyway, so the thing is that going on a detox for the first time was quite easy for me, because I did not have to detox from caffeine. Because when I had this dengue fever, I stopped totally caffeine in my life. I said, okay, you know what? It's been a week. I've been exhausted. Now I just replenish. Why not just quit coffee at that moment? So I did, and it was pretty easy, because for 7 days I didn't have any caffeine. So that was pretty easy. But I know then when I did it with, so when I shared the results with my husband from my first detox, then he was like, oh man, I want to try that as well. So we ran a second, 2 months after we ran our detox, the same thing. So I would cook, not cook because everything is raw, by the way, but I would prepare everything, the juices and stuff like that, and he would just drink it. And actually, it was very tough on the first day, headache, because of the detox of the caffeine. So this headache is normal. And then after that, he would feel much better. And I have to admit that it has also very good results on him. And then I run it another round as well. Later after that, it makes me feel good. And now what I want to talk about it is to remind myself that I need to run a fourth cycle this year before the year end, because it makes me feel really good. I can feel that all the dirt is coming out, and I'm losing a little bit of weight as well. So I believe that I have some dirt. And also because recently I was eating not really good, not really healthy. And so I just want, just to come back on track and do something good for my body. But yes, so that was my experience with detox. I won't go for eyes closed on every detox, because this one that I ran the first time, we used to have nutritionists as well coming up and being with us in case, something was wrong in your diet. Or in the way that you were feeling the detox in your body. So obviously, if you are pregnant, don't try it without the advice of a specialist, definitely. But if you have diabetes or stuff like that, it's the same. Please don't try it on your own. But if you are pretty healthy, then you can just try out a detox program, which is supervised, I would say, at least for your first one. It would be good to have supervision, just in case something is happening. So, yeah.
Cool. Okay. Well, that sounds like a really full-on detox experience. I think 4 days on the medical medium one is what you would classify like a hardcore detox. Mine was not so much. Mine was more, I also felt like I needed to release toxins. Being in Melbourne and just like our relentless lockdown, obviously my health suffered during that. Even though, maybe say last year, if I was eating healthy and doing my best to exercise, it's been much more difficult for me this winter. So I did think about doing a detox, just to start afresh, because what I really did like about it, I only did it for 2 days. And I eat a lot, so I actually thought I would be starving. And I had sort of really reduced my schedule, so I didn't have to do as much work. But I found that part really easy. So the eating, but I ate. I didn't do only liquids. So I actually bought like a detox kit where there was like a lemon infused sort of liquid that you had to have 3 times a day. And I guess, that could have been all you were able to have, but they said you can also have like a number of fruits and vegetables as well. So throughout the day, I chose from the list, like I definitely had pumpkin for sure. That got me through dinner times. And I think a couple of bananas. So over those 2 days, they're the vegetables that I chose. Um, oh, and beans, green beans. Geez, I love green beans. But so it was just 2 days, but the headache was intense for me because I am a coffee drinker. And as I said, I have tried to detox from that, but I still have at least one a day, and well, only one a day, I should say. And I just felt that that was wiping me out. The headache was so bad, which I had experienced in giving up alcohol before, but this felt worse. So I think because I was detoxing from everything and my diet has been higher in fats and, bad foods and whatever, which isn't, I don't eat terribly badly, but I think I've been eating worse around that time. So I don't know if detoxing from food gives you that headache, but I did have an excruciating headache. Whereas I wasn't hungry, but I couldn't keep going due to that. So I just did it for 2 days. And what I got out of it was exactly what I will talk about with the dopamine detox, is just bringing my starting point back to zero. Do you know what I mean? So imagine if you're eating chocolate every day, then you want chocolate every day going forward. But once you do a detox, you go back to zero where you don't want chocolate. And it doesn't mean that in a week or two you won't have it, or you might have it the next day, but then you don't need as much. Do you know what I mean? You've dropped that habit. So it brings you back to zero. That's what I liked with the detox. Um, so that's my only experience really. And I mean, I don't really know what my intention was. My intention was like everything in lockdown, like I had time. I may as well do some of these things I've always wanted to do. I would certainly love to stimulate weight loss or, get healthier, but it was really just actually having time and trying it out. Um, but my experience with caffeine has been a different situation. So this is again a lockdown thing. As a coach, I'm like, lockdown, great, set goals, pick a kill life. After 2 years, that is not where I was. But at the beginning, I was there, and I thought, life's not as stressful. And talking about human design, I am a projector, and we are, I rely on coffee to actually give me energy to keep up with the world. So I was like, if the world is slowing down, and I don't want to be as reactive, I don't want to have stress in my body. Me and coffee, I can't give it up. It's going to be a love-hate relationship forever. I am addicted. During lockdown, I will say, I went to, I got all my fancy caffeine replacements and adaptogens and stuff. And I did go without coffee, I would say, for about maybe 3 or 4 months. But then I gave in. And then I thought I'll go back to, so I started getting off it by going on to decaf. And then I went on to, what was my replacement? Because I know people might want to find out, because I watched so many YouTube videos and stuff on how to replace caffeine. And I think it was dandelion tea. It was dandelion tea that I made like coffee. And because I felt like I couldn't wake up in the morning without something that was at least a replacement with the adaptogens and all of that. And I managed to. So I was really proud of myself. But then I was like, screw it, this is not living. Do you know what I mean? Like, I need coffee. That this makes me happy. I'm happy. I want the energy. I can do it. I proved it to myself. But for me, that's not like living. And for me, I don't want to eat clean all the time. Do you know what I mean? Like, I like a hamburger. I like chocolate. This is life. I indulge in life, in balance. So this is my philosophy. So I went back to one coffee a day, and I'm really proud of myself. I now, from being around 3 coffees a day, could before, I'm a one coffee a day that I really look forward to it. And actually, it's been a really good lesson in building a habit and And speaking of dopamine, in, having something to look forward to, something that I overindulged in, that I loved. I now, often I would make a day out of having coffee in lockdown because that was all I was doing in my day, and really looked forward to it. And I have, yeah, it is one of those things that's now a pleasure because I don't overindulge in it. And that is exactly what a dopamine slash technology detox is. So have you heard about this?
No, I mean, I heard about it, but I've never tried. So tell me more.
Okay, so a dopamine detox is basically, it comes from neuroscience. So, I'm sure having your own business, or, all of us being in lockdown, I've particularly seen it with my son, and I'm quite worried about it. So the reason that a lot of us lose motivation is because exactly what I was saying about the chocolate and a detox setting you back to zero. So you don't need to have 3 bars a day to feel good anymore. You can have a tiny square and now you feel just as good. Because the technology companies have made us addicted to that little ping, that sound. We get a dopamine hit. Do you know what I mean? I know that I pick up my phone, it's right here, like 100 times a day. Do you know what I mean? Just looking to see what fun will be on there. What like did I get? What message? And so this is increasing our dopamine.
Release.
No, it, sorry. Yeah, it's increasing our, what's it called? I lost the word. Tolerance. So our tolerance is getting higher and higher. So we need more, we need more videos coming at us, video games, music, blah, 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 and we can't concentrate. And so this is obviously a worldwide problem. And so a dopamine detox is just choosing one day a week to take away all of these stimulants that are right at our fingertips now. Do you know what I mean? So to help you get back to studying for children and not making it so boring, just bringing yourself back to zero. For us business owners, spending a longer period of time working on our creations, even now, like between clients, because I find that quite exhausting, I will scroll for a while when really I should do, like 10 minutes up the wall, my legs up the wall, and just relax, which is what I used to do. Now I'll reach for my phone. So a detox is at least having one day a week where you take away as much of that stimulation as you can, if not all, so you can keep bringing yourself back to zero. But and I've done it. Well, and what I was going to say is the way to start, which is one of the things that I've started with, is just take away one. Do you know what I mean? So, now when I go to the gym or when I go for a walk, I won't have my phone. That's a really good way to start. Or just say no TV for a whole day on the weekend. Do you know what I mean? Just spend it in nature. But maybe you can have music or maybe a podcast. But just whatever your main crutch is, at least taking that away, and hopefully getting up to one day a week of complete, dopamine detox, which is also food, not coffee. that wasn't in the one that I've done because that's it. But as many of these things that we come to rely on, and we use it a lot more than we used to. And the other thing, like an example with how much, I'm using, self-discipline, and I am looking forward to my one coffee that I will go and buy out, once a day, whereas before I'd have up to 4. You appreciate it a lot more. And so it's something to institute with your work or study for children, which is, do half an hour of work and then allow yourself to have 10 minutes of scrolling. Because although you and I and everyone else would like to pretend that we don't pick up our phone as much as we do, if you were to track it, we actually do. So this is kind of a coaching technique, but it is to actually accept and look at the reality of what you do and try to schedule it a bit more. So even though it sounds like quite generous to do half an hour of work, 10 minutes of scrolling, half an hour of work, 10 minutes of scrolling as a reward, we would probably be doing something even more than that possibly. So, you know, adjust it to you or your kids, but particularly for kids. And I don't know about people listening, but here in Australia, kids have just, you know, gotten so much more technology. It's already a problem. But with winter here, like you guys don't have, you know, winter, but with winter, rain, not being able to go outside, you know, more than 1 or 2 hours a day, and and nothing else to do, the kids, you know, the kids have been socializing on technology. So it's going to be a big thing. So any parents out there really need to find a way to, you know, the kids, it's not their fault, you know, they're addicted to it.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. But
Yeah, I think we're
that's
gonna talk about this in our motherhood episodes, because we have that in plan. But I totally relate to you to that, because it's not easy for the kids. And actually, last Sunday, I spent, my phone was away, was away the whole day. And I remember, so we went at that horse riding stuff that we do very often, and my phone was in the bag, and I was not holding it. My husband was carrying the bag, and he could feel, you know, the buzz of my phone. So then after that, once I finished the round, you know, with the kids and stuff like that, they say, hey, your phone, and he was about to pulling out from the bag, and they say, hey, your phone is ringing. And I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. It's not because it's buzzing that I want to see what is coming. I mean, it's Sunday and I'm doing something else, and I want to keep being present about what I am doing, because let's admit it, I'm not present with my kids 100% of the time. When we are together, you know, sometimes I'm tired, sometimes I just don't want to play, sometimes I don't want to jump, sometimes I don't want to do this or that, you know. So, or even when I'm cooking, you know, because sometimes I'm cooking, and then when I'm cooking, it's the same, you know. I'm even there, I'm not necessarily present all the time. And so when I feel that I am in the moment, then I don't want any distraction, and I have that strength to say no to my phone. Of course, it's harder from Monday to Friday, I have to admit, because this is where work happened. But I'm trying as well to get my kids, you know. It was holidays last week, and holidays, they can meet friends outside, and then they can play because we have the video games at home. And then when school happened again, I said no. I just put the rules, and my kids are quite young, so it's fine. They will follow the rules. Probably they will rebel next in the coming years. I don't know yet, but I'm not yet there. So the idea is really like every day they come and they say, can we play video games? And I said, no, not during the weekdays. This is something that I want for them, even though they don't feel it, they don't know it yet. But definitely, yes, it's like getting rid the TV. I'm not a TV consumer, so it's fine. But the kids can be. Somehow I prefer that they watch TV rather than they play video games, because I feel that the video games are quite exciting compared to TV. So that's why I'm just preferring TV over video games. And so yes, it's definitely it's something that we will probably go through the motherhood, or maybe something else will come up. But it's not easy to tell our kids not to do this or that, because other parents will not react the same way. They will allow video games on the weekdays, they will allow this and that. So it's difficult as well to find the right balance amongst our, you know, kids. But it's somehow as well, it's a new world. We won't avoid this. We will not come back to what it was for our generation. This will never happen. So we also need to find a way just to find the right balance, to teach them that there is a balance actually in life to get, if we want to be healthy and happy. And self-discipline, not necessarily only on the detox or dopamine detox or free of technology or stuff like that. Self-discipline is something that we need to all learn from a young age for any topics in life. any
Yeah.
topic, any things from life. So once you teach this, and then you spend time teaching this, then they will have their own free will and they will decide from themselves, as long as they have the self-discipline aligned.
And the biggest thing there is, and this is where it always comes back to, like, motherhood is this mirror. If you have good habits, they will have good habits. If you're there like, get off your phone now, on your phone, they're gonna be like, no, you're on yours. Like, you can't be, watching TV and saying it's time for you to read, you know. And it's actually really interesting because my son has to read before his bed, well, like during his bedtime. And that's not necessarily when I want to read. And I do have I'd say, 4 out of 5 nights a week I am reading, but I don't want to read at 8 o'clock. Like, that's, and he's like, I'll read, I want to read with you. And I enjoyed doing that more when he was little. But, I've become quite lazy, and I lost a lot of my routines over the stupid lockdown. And now when he wants to read at 8 o'clock, I'm like, I don't, really feel like reading my book right now. But then my brain's going, if you don't, he won't. And, he's trying to get himself back into a post-lockdown world. So that's why he wants you to pull out your book too. And I'm having to institute, self-discipline myself, going, you used to like doing this, why aren't you doing it now? And yeah, so it's about, modeling, and also you pulling up that self-discipline. And and it's just so present in my life now because I really lost some routines. And and the lockdown affected our brains. The first 6 months or whatever, I was really fine, but later on, it's really impacted me in my daily habits and stuff. So I really have to get back to where I was.
Yeah, I
It's
totally
hard.
get that. So definitely, detox is one of the idea. Changing habits or getting new habits or new routine. It's definitely another technique that can help as well to come back to this new life post COVID, if it's already the end. Let's see about that. Yep. All right. So great conversation. We hope that you enjoyed that conversation around the detox. And if you want to try anything, just try out. If it's a diet one, make sure. I mean, the diet food detox. Make sure to be supervised to make sure that everything is correct for you. And just enjoy the rest of your day. Talk to you later, everyone.
Hi. Thank you so much for joining us on today's episode. We hope you enjoyed it. And every time you listen, we truly appreciate it. And if you would like to follow me or learn more about my work or get in contact with me, please go to my website, which is angelajanecoaching.com.
And if you want to know more about my work, you can go on sarahmeng.com. All the details are going to be listed in a comment below. You can also follow us on social media, Instagram or Facebook, where we are sharing our daily tips.
Bye.
Hope to see you soon.